We're at Babylonstoren, which is famous for many things. It's beautiful food, it's wine, it's places to stay, the very interesting Sootmelk Sleigh historic village. But one of the things it's really known for are its incredible gardens. These are not ordinary gardens. They've got beautiful flowers and they've got beautiful plants, but they are gardens that you can experience, that you can taste and smell. And we want to take you on a journey through these gardens and the incredible and unexpected stories that you find in the gardens at Babylonstoren.
So before we go into the garden, I want you to just pick a citrus leaf. Yeah, and just pick a leaf and just crush it, yeah, and smell it. And I love to always start, when you enter the garden, just pick a leaf and smell it, because this is exactly what we want everyone to do in the garden. Yeah, there's maybe lines and borders, but that doesn't mean you can't enter it. We want you to enter it and smell it and taste even.
That's what gardens are about. You know, gardens are often, people have them all beautiful and you say, you know,
don't
touch.
Don't walk
that's
over
what gardens are, living, vibrant, smelling, tasting, touching thing.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Really
we have a rule we don't have many rules, but we have a rule in the garden, and that is that everything you need to be able to use it. We don't want something like, we don't have grass in the garden, because what do you use it actually for? So when you're starting to feel a bit sick or something like that, you just chew on it.
Really?
And then I put it in my pocket.
Interesting.
You can actually eat these.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then it takes everything that's bad in your mouth, it takes it away.
And I swallow as well.
I remember from
It's a bit.
it was good for things.
It's not called sour fig for no reason, but it's, yeah. The other important thing is you need to believe in it, otherwise it's not going to. So I just want to stop at that bottle. Do you see the bottle in the tree?
It's like a grappa, is it?
That little bottle of glass.
Yeah. So this is our poem fruit block with all the apples, the pears, the quince hedge. That's a smaller one here. So when there's a pear in the bottle now.
There's a pear in the bottle.
When the pear is big, we cut it and we pour some very strong alcohol in it and then close it. And then it's the best question to ask, how did the pear get into the bottle? Yeah.
This is cool.
Have you sat in these two before? Because I always believe you haven't been here if you don't have a photo in, in one of these.
And chew on a quince or one of those sour figs.
Tree in the middle here, which is mother mulberry. If someone tells you you need to replant a tree that's older than 150 years, it's like taking a grandma out of a pot. And yeah, so that's a big situation. But they had to replant her. Because she was struggling a bit because she grew underneath a lot of other trees. And the owners really loved her. So they said no machinery must be involved when you're going to replant it. And so it took like 13 guys to actually just replant it here without using any machines. So, I love it to come and show people these trees because you can easily walk past it without realizing. So that is actually 5 trees in one.
What? 5 trees in one?
So they planted 4 young trees and the 5th one in the middle. And then when they grew strong, he connected them, grafted them, onto each other. And then he cut it there and he cut it there when it looked like those healed. Yeah.
Crazy. That's
And
like a little animal, like an insect.
yeah, and then later on he took it away.
And those 4 have now merged into one.
Yeah, so it's getting all its food through another tree, yeah.
And are they different trees?
And they're all mispel. So mispel is actually a really hardy a tree, just like a quince. No, I think maybe these are quinces actually, now that you talk about it. Okay, so now there's 3 leaves, so you can, there's an aphid on it, but just take one of those petals and taste it.
Oh, we've got to eat a petal now.
Yeah,
right?
you got to eat the
experience.
petal.
It's going to make me healthy.
Yeah, no, this is like a, this we call the
Sweet.
sweet.
Much tasty. Wow, like honey.
Yeah,
Okay, I like
we call it the
I'll eat the whole
marshmallow flower.
So cool.
It's something we don't see often in South Africa, or that we hear about quite a lot. But it's delicious, and it's the one flower that's actually
Very edible.
yeah, very, very edible. People usually come and ask, but where's the fruit that they can eat now? And yeah, it's interesting when people comes with that expectation, because it's not always fruit. There's so much other things as well, like the flowers. It's all about the whole experience for it.
So fresh.
Fresh, yeah. We are in the edible flower garden now.
Edible flowers, eh?
Yeah. You need to smell
I can smell
this rose. Yeah. So this specific rose has been brought to it was the first rose in South Africa.
Wow.
Brought here by Jan van Riebeeck in the 1600s. So it's a cutting from that rose, the mountain marigold. So it doesn't have any flowers now, but if you just wave your hands and just smell it.
Already I can smell it.
Yeah.
That's crazy smell.
So this is great to plant next to your plants because insects doesn't like that kind of scent. So it just
That's amazing. So obviously as the wind blows, it brings out the scent. So
exactly.
it keeps the insects.
And the honeysuckle. That's
Golly, this is your roses you're talking about.
here you can see how this is always just amazing. The kiwi.
What is that?
A kiwi.
It's a kiwi.
You don't see a lot of kiwis in South Africa. Yeah, almost. We've been to a thing where they actually told us 98% of kiwis are imported in South Africa. So when you find something on the shelf, it's probably imported.
yeah.
Only 2% are actually.
Really?
Right,
Yeah.
South Africa.
Yeah. Oh, and then our chamomile lawn. So it's been planted probably 2 months ago. So it's not that old.
2 months.
Yeah, so yeah, this is just, it's a lovely place to just come and sit down, really, especially
like
when
in
it's
a
all
field.
covered. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and kids, look, where to next? Flower, I promise. That you know. This is the, I almost said bay leaf, the daglily, a
Okay.
day lily. So there's a bit of trips, but you just follow it. But this is a lovely flower to use in stir fries.
Okay.
It's
fry.
yeah, it's a bit of, it has a juiciness on it.
Yeah. Oh, so you can try it.
Oh, you eat it as well?
The whole one.
Oh, you sure?
Oh, it does. That's so interesting.
Yeah, you can say, it's a bit of
Quite
juicy.
crunchy. Like it tastes like you'd think it was almost like a lettuce.
It's
Like
slightly,
a,
it's like sweet. It's like
Yeah. There's just think of the
crunchy.
possibilities to
sweet
use
cabbage.
this
Yeah.
flower. Yeah. So this is our nursery, but we only keep everything we want to plant in here. So I'm wondering now if you've been at the willow tunnel, because usually most people in the garden see these spots, but now as you are talking about the unexpected,
Wow, that sounds exciting.
oh, look, the little spider.
The sleeping spider.
Yes.
I'm for everything.
Okay. Oh no.
And we can keep going.
Okay, we are rushing through the vet plantation now, but it's actually a spectacular place. It has all the succulents that Arends and Cornell collected
the bowls as well.
all over South Africa. Yeah, so they bought all these bowls, and so it's actually an honor, a memory of Ronnie.
These are also interesting rocks.
Yeah. So do you know Welwitschia? Welwitschia, you talked about Namibia earlier on, but it's a desert plant in Namibia. And you see everywhere where there's red sand, there's heaters underneath it to keep it warm in winter because the Welwitschia plants are planted here. So it gets really, really big, the Welwitschia plants, and you can never replant it. You can only grow it from seed. So it's Arends went with some students to Namibia to actually go find and collect the seeds. Now I want to see a plant. If I'm correct, this must be the one. And it's also because usually when a seedling comes up, its two first leaves look different than the whole plant.
Okay.
But with the Welwitschia, it always keeps all its leaves.
Straight away.
Yeah. So the first person who saw Welwitschia, apparently he sat for almost half a day just looking at the plant because he thought maybe it's something that's alive that's going to eat it because it was massive.
Say it's going to be, and how beautiful that
I was looking now because I know there's a snake in this garden, so I thought
Which
for a
snake are we
moment.
looking at?
I'm not sure even. Hello. And then this is something new.
Yes,
That's
I see that.
Arends did. This is the rock piano. So if you pick up a rock
Oh, wow.
and
That's crazy.
you'll see everything, but you need to get a nice.
That sounds like it's hollow.
It's like metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's crazy because it needs to be placed at exactly the right angles. Yeah.
sound.
And
And this is a higher noise.
high noise.
Yeah.
And the other thing is it can't be on sand, it needs to be on a rock.
That's crazy.
The sounds also differ with the rocks you use. So this, yeah, Adams always tells the beautiful story of where they found it and they just packed it, yeah. Can become part of the,
So cool.
yeah. Yeah, this is the Willow Tunnel.
Oh, the Willow
And
Sure, it's amazing. There's a bit of wind out there. You come in here and it's just suddenly cool and protected.
exactly, it can rain. My first day when I came in here, it was raining. We got underneath and we were like, wow, it's so nice and it's such a nice
So
thing
willows
to-
go quite quickly, so I suppose it doesn't take too long. Or
Doesn't take too long. Here you'll see just how they grew into each other. So the same man, Anton, that's 85 years old, he also did the Willow Tunnel.
good at manipulating plants.
Yes, exactly. You can see the ones that just took from the soil. Yes.
Crazy, eh?
So the structure is from,
And the structure, what is that made from?
it's from black wattle. So this is busy rotting away, but it's also good because,
because you're holding it's just holding
then
it
that'll
until
just
it's
become
ready
more
to.
nutrients.
yeah,
It's just become a frame until it's ready.
exactly. Yeah, here's the last young ones that's planted in. Now this is the area where not a lot of people come because many people stop at the garden gate.
Wow.
And it's one of the most beautiful places.
I love that little even resting spot you made.
Yeah, that's our bird hide. So you can actually come
Oh,
here.
so you can come and look at the birds. That's
Yes.
so nice.
Yeah.
The weavers and the...
When it's sometimes when I have,
What's so amazing is, when you change the sort of environment, the ecosystem, everything changes. All of a sudden you've got all these reeds, you've got the different water birds things.
yeah,
Then just back there where you had that sort of Namakwa-landy rock and we had the lizards, and it's just crazy how things change.
yeah,
Completely.
yeah, exactly. Side where our rice paddies are, and
Really, right, Paddy?
our rice paddies. Ooh, and smell this. This is an indigenous mint that you'll find in the mountains. Yeah. So these are the rice paddies, and you can see the so in March,
Flooded then. Okay.
and then we have our waterblommetjie dam.
water-
Apparently that's just on this side as well. So these are the two you talked about.
Yeah, so tell us about that.
They really cost a foot, and they came from far, from the top of South Africa.
Wow.
And you can see they still have their cages around them, but it's just there. I don't know if they're ever going to actually take it off. But
to protect it.
yeah, the Encephalartos hoodii, and it's the story around them is that they've only found the males but they've never found the females.
There's no female exists of these.
Yes, so
Wow.
so the only way to propagate it is from cuttings or in that way, but they can't. There's no new babies really, so it's a beautiful shady spot as well.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, and
These are very cool.
the whole stream.
Here you go. You feel the cleavers.
This is made from a cutting from the tree that the apple fell on Newton's head when he figured out gravity.
So if I sit here, and then with
You're
flower
going to be
and
very
I'll get
smart.
an incredible idea
Yes.
will come to me.
You're still going to sit quite a long time because there aren't apples
Gravity,
yet. Baby apples coming.
Oh, look at the
very,
little
very
baby
small
apples.
still.
So one of these little things would have fell on Isaac's head,
Yeah,
and he would have gone, gravity.
yeah.
So when you finish the garden tour, there's plenty to do. Not only can you do the garden tour, you can keep going. There are so many areas to explore, but obviously you're going to get a little bit hungry and you want to, take a break. There is this beautiful greenhouse restaurant. For obvious reasons, you can either sit outside or in this lovely greenhouse and enjoy yourself, have a drink, have something to eat, and just soak in this beautiful space. So we have tea, but if you look carefully, you'll see it's the most boring tea you've ever seen in the world. It is merely hot water. But this is Babylonstoren, and there is nothing that is ever boring. We are going to create our own tea out of a whole lot of things, I don't know, all sorts of flowers and whatever. So we've got to go and figure this out. Never done this before. So here we have, who knows, all these things. They've got rosemary and this blue thing. And then you've got this thing, and then we've got mint. Okay, so a bit of mint, that sounds interesting. It's not what you do, I suppose you just pluck a plant. Okay, so drop a little bit of mint in there. It smells like mint. Rosemary's always quite interesting, so let's get a little sprig of rosemary in there. There we go, rosemary. What else do we have? Some marigold. It's just crazy that we're going to be drinking tea with this one. So a little bit of marigold. What else do we have? Rose geraniums. Do we have to put the flower or the, I don't know, there's a little flower. I'm going to get a bit of the flower and the plant. Give me a little plant. Give me that flower. There we go. Bit of the plant and the flower. Actually, we just keep going. I don't know what this one is. Let's put it in. Let's sniff it first. It smells nice. Okay, so in it goes. I think we've just about done it all. Oh, lemon. Very good. This is for colds and fever. Oh, I found there's actually scissors, which we're probably meant to be using all along. So a little bit of that lemon in there I think will be nice. They always say you got to get the top leaves. Those are always the best. Right, in you go. And yeah, that looks like a blend of goodies. I have no idea how many you mean to put in, but there we go. And we've got to let that brew, and we could have a most delicious tea. So we'll have to go and give it a try after it's brewed. Well, the food has arrived and it looks absolutely fascinating. So we've got the really interesting tea, which is going to be interesting in itself. But there's this beautiful granola type, fruit salad-y type thing we've got, and a few chips and things on the side. But well, it looks fresh and tasty. Most of these things are from the garden, so you know it's going to be delicious. Delicious. And it's got that lemon infusion on it. It's very tasty. Right, now the moment of truth. Let's see what this tea tastes like, made of all the delicacies from the garden. But it's all in the taste and the smell. Yo, it's got an interesting smell. It smells like garden, mint. It's delicious. I never thought you could actually drink tea, just little plants, little flowers and things. It's very nice, wow. Much nicer than your tea, just in your tea bags.
Yes.
We're under this mother mulberry tree, which I think is a fitting place to bring our journey to an end. What an incredible space Babylonstoren has created, a space where you can experience the beauty of the gardens in a real visceral way. It's been absolutely astounding. And it really reminds me and taught me a powerful lesson. There is evidence that the people who live longest, which are called the blue zones, are people who are gardeners. And you can see why. It's not just all the healthy things that you're eating. It's the smells, it's the taste, it's the touch, it's the living. And it's places like this that really make that real for you. What a privilege it's been to explore this space of Babylonstoren.